The following is a commercial program paid for by Heritage Agriculture. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and are not those of Nexstar Broadcasting, Inc., this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Welcome to Arkansas Farm Talk, where we will look at issues that affect agriculture here in the natural state. Brought to you by Heritage Agriculture. Here's your host, Mike Linton.
Welcome to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm your host, Mike Linton. Today's guest is Mr. Cody Burkham, Executive Vice President of Arkansas Cattlemen Association. Cody, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Woo, man, we got a bunch to talk about. I hope we can get it all in 30 minutes.
Well, we'll talk fast as we can.
Okay. Hey, USDA has passed a bill, Coronavirus Food Assistance Program. It's a direct payment to livestock producers. Tell me what you know about it.
Well, you know, Mike, this is the first time in history that cattle producers have been able to have direct payments, and which COVID-19 has been unprecedented for. So this calls for unprecedented solutions, right? And so, like you said, USDA just put out the CFAP program, and it is a two-part payment program, meaning that if you sold calves between January 15th and April 15th, you will receive a certain amount of money per head.
Depending on the weight.
Depending on the weight.
Of the calf, right?
Right,
okay.
Exactly. So if it's less than 600 pounds, you're going to receive $102. If it was more than 600 pounds, you'll receive $139.
Okay.
And then, of course, your slaughter cattle, which we don't really deal with here in Arkansas per se, but your mature cattle, maybe those slaughter cows or those slaughter bulls that go to the markets, you're going to receive $92 a head. For those. Okay. So that's the first part of the payment. The second part of the payment is just a per head payment that just say, I have 100 head at home. Okay. So if that's what I have between April 16th and May 14th, I'm going to receive $33 a head.
Per head? Per
head.
Okay.
Now that's cows, calves, bulls, anything that you have on your place.
Okay. So
now,
let me back up. Let me just ask you a question. Sure. Okay. So for every head that I sold between January 15th and April 15th, depending on where they stand, if they're 600 pounds or more, 600 pounds or less, or slaughter cattle, then I'm going to receive that payment per head.
That's correct.
Like 600 pounds or less, I'm going to get $102 a head, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. 600 pounds or more, $139 a head.
That's right.
Okay. And then for every cow, every calf, every bull that we have left on the farm, it's $33 a head, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And that's between April 16th and May 14th.
Okay.
So what they'll do is they'll take those two payments and they'll put those together, and you will receive 80% of the total.
Okay. You'll get 80% of that total amount.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So just say, for example, say you qualified for $10,000, you'll actually receive 80% or $8,000. Sure. Something like that. We know that USDA is working with a very limited. There was about 9.5 billion, 9.1 something billion like that in the CARES Act when it passed. But when you go to spreading that across all of agriculture, it really
sounds like
a
big number till you start splitting it up.
That's right. That's right.
Now you can't register before May 26th, correct?
That's correct.
That's the day that you can register, and you have to contact your local FSA office.
That's correct.
Okay, so you need to go through them. Nothing you can do online that you know of.
Right?
No.
At this time, you need to. Now you can. USDA held a conference call or a Zoom webinar here last week and kind of showed what all paperwork and information that you would need to be able to apply. So certainly encourage our farmers to, before they contact FSA, to check out farmer.gov, I believe is the website, and it'll have a list of things that you can, because you're going to be required to, prove that you have the cows that you say you have and that you've sold what you said you've sold and things like that. So,
so like for instance, myself, I sold a pot load in March to Oklahoma City. So I'll just have to take, I guess, the piece of paper that I have where it says I sold the cattle and what I sold them for.
That's right.
To the FSA to prove that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Your check stub from the National Stockyards here in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Will tell how many head and the average price and things like that.
Okay.
They'll want to see that just to prove ownership and that you have what you say you have.
All right. Now, how are we going to prove what we've got on the farm?
You can do that a number of different ways. USDA is telling us they'll accept a lot of different things, whether that be, you know, vet bills, feed bills, just your general ledger for, you know, some of your farm accounts and things like that.
Sure.
There is a host of different ways that they can they'll let you prove your ownership of those
But our
animals.
local FSA guys will know what we need to do, right?
That's absolutely right. They're being trained on that program right now. That way, whenever it opens up, they're ready to go and help the producers of Arkansas.
Okay, and President Trump, he made in a statement that he hopes that from the time that you apply, that within a week, we'll have some money, because we really need to get some money in producers' pockets. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. And you know, Mike, from the association standpoint, we were kind of surprised that the president and the Office of Management and OMB worked it around to where most of the times when you're working with the government, something like this will have to go through at least a 30-day comment period. Yeah. But OMB and President worked it around to where they put it out and said, we're not going to do a 30-day comment period. We know our producers are hurting. We're going to get it to them.
I think it makes a statement about the president understands how important this is. They understand how bad our ranchers are hurting, and he's trying to do something about it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And our Congress is trying to do something about it. I mean, this Congress backed.
Absolutely. I mean, this like you said, this was Congress passed back here a month or so ago in the CARES Act, and USDA. I got tickled. I got a call here a while back, and the gentleman said, Cody, does Congress, or do they usually take this long to put out a program? And I kind of laughed and I said, well, this is actually very fast for them putting out a program. They've actually worked at a breakneck speed. So we appreciate that sense of urgency from the president.
Well, you and I have had a lot of conversations. Our row crop guys are subsidized, and they need to be, because that's what makes us the greatest country in the world. Our Arkansas farmers and ranchers can produce enough food to feed the world. Okay?
That's right.
So everybody would like to have a free and open market, but we both know that it can never be like that. So if we can't have it 100% free and open market, then it needs to be subsidized. And I think that the ranchers deserve to be subsidized just like the row crop guys do. I'm not saying take anything away from the row crop guys. They need every dime they can get just to try to break even too. But also I think our Arkansas ranchers deserve to be funded too.
Well, they definitely deserve help in times, the tough times, and certainly so. Like I said, this is the first time in history we've seen this from the ranching perspective, and so. I'll be honest, we wish that on that $33 a head side things might have worked out a little higher.
Any chance of that being a little higher?
It's possible. There are, I know, definitely already some conversations going on in Washington where it could be possible that we get another tranche or raise what we have.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to Arkansas Farm Talk.
Since 1921, we've been supporting rice farmers across America. These are the farmers who own our co-op, who prosper together, striving to do more for their communities, going deeper, working smarter, growing stronger. That's how we make good even better. That good comes from the time and toil they're passing down of a way of life that supports not only their families, but families all over the world. So the world can be served with great food. Riceland. United, we grow.
In good times and hard times, Arkansas Farm Bureau is there. We're always working, so our state's farmers and ranchers can continue to put food on store shelves and on your family's dinner table. We support training for medical care in rural communities and the industries that provide materials needed for critical supplies. Arkansas Farm Bureau, working every day to keep Arkansas strong.
The Case IH sales event is going on now, making it a great time to get the equipment you need at a price you can afford. You'll find new Farmall, Maxim, and Puma Series tractors, along with our complete line of hay tools, all at a special rate. But hurry, the sales event ends August 31st.
Keeping farms running, construction moving, and towns maintained is essential. That's why Kubota is working to keep you working. Right now, get 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Offer expires May 31st. Visit KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Kubota, together we do more.
No matter how you buy ag equipment, AgDirect can finance it. We're powered by Farm Credit, people who know agriculture. So along with options to purchase, lease, or refinance, AgDirect offers attractive rates, helpful service, and ag-friendly terms. When you compare the price of iron, be sure to compare your cost of money. Ask for AgDirect, built for agriculture, powered by Farm Credit.
Make sure you're prepared for the busy planting season ahead with Great Plains planters and drills available at Heritage Agriculture. The Great Plains lineup of planters and drills, including the 3P4025AH twin row and YP825 planters, are accurate, dependable planting solutions, ready to help you kick off your planting season. Heritage Agriculture, the 7 locations to serve you. We're customer focused, customer driven, and we want your business.
Welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm with Cody Burkham, the Executive Vice President of Arkansas Cattlemen Association. Cody, we were touching on the payments for the livestock producers. I want to ask you a quick question before we get into some more stuff. There's a lot of stuff to cover here.
Right.
Why do you think there's such a price difference between the prices paid for beef at the grocery store and the prices paid to the grower? Because it's not even close.
Yeah, no, Mike, it's definitely some imbalance within our industry, certainly. And, you know, I'll be the first to say I'm no economist, and they have a number of different reasons they give. Some of them are certainly credible. Some of them I kind of shake my head and wonder about, just from my own opinion. It's a good question, though. Well, we don't know exactly why. I mean, but we know that there is certainly a bottleneck in our supply in our industry at the killing plants, and of course, you and I both know that the vast majority of our meat is processed by four large packers.
Yes, and they can't do it for free.
That's right.
I get that. They can't do it for free, but it's not even close.
Right.
I mean, the price difference is not even. I mean, it's not even believable, really.
Right.
But the price that people are paying for beef at the grocery store today versus what the rancher the price he's getting per pound, I mean, it's ridiculous, really.
It absolutely is, Mike. No doubt about it. You know, but if we take any silver lining, it is that it's thrown some light that would probably not have been thrown on it any other way than we don't want to see any kind of pandemic, but this is pointed a light on some things that need to be changed.
You're exactly right. We don't want to see a pandemic. We don't want to see COVID-19, but I mean, our ranchers are hurting. Right. They're hurting bad. Right. And they deserve this. This little bit of a help that they're going to get and some payment, they deserve that. But my deal is, what's next? Mm-hmm. We can't do business the way we did it 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. We have to think about where we are today in today's economy, today's society. And then I think moving forward, we have to put laws in place to protect the ranchers, because that's our food. Our food source, I've said it a million times, our American farmers and ranchers are the greatest in the world. Absolutely. Especially our Arkansas farmers and ranchers, because of the weather, everything they have to go through. And that's our biggest export item, is commodities. Right. You know, that's what separates us from the rest of the world. All the other major powers can do a lot of the things that we can do, but what they can't do is they don't have the food source, they don't have the free water.
That's absolutely right. You bring up good points. You know, I've heard it said several times that, food issues, ag issues here in the United States, that's national security issues at the end of the day. And I think we have to make sure that our elected leaders are hearing that from my association and the producers. Absolutely.
I think they're hearing it now.
Absolutely. They're hearing it loud and clear, I believe.
Let me ask you a question. President Trump made the statement he wanted to shut down all beef entering the U.S., which I'm for 100%. And that our growers produced enough to supply the U.S. Mm-hmm. Do you think that will ever happen?
So I heard the same comments whenever I was watching yesterday, and I found it somewhat interesting. And I believe, for clarity's sake, he said cattle. Stop exporting cattle. Yes. And so don't know if he meant beef. Don't know if he meant cattle.
You mean importing?
He meant importing. Importing. Yes. The thing about if we're talking about live cattle. We get live cattle from Canada and Mexico. Those are our two largest ones. With the USMCA just being signed into law, just going to take effect here in the next few weeks, which is something, you know, that President Trump negotiated in his administration.
Yes.
Are we going to stop beef imports into America?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, because if you shut it completely down, then they may stop the exports.
Right, and that
it's give and take.
Absolutely,
it's
you know,
give and take.
We are, you know, the United States is a net positive for importing of low-grade beef, but we are, when we talk about exporting beef, we export a lot of high-dollar, high-value beef that brings back, you know, value to our carcasses and to our product.
Yeah.
But, you know, trade is one of those very, very intricate issues, and emotions certainly run high when we go to talking about trade. That's for
absolutely.
sure.
It's back and forth.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Cody, you testified at the Capitol last week. Tell me what you testified about, and tell me what's going on there.
Yeah, so, you know, another one of those silver linings that COVID has pointed out for us and shown us is that, you know, Arkansas producers they don't have the ability to market their product like they would like to. You know, we don't have killing capacity here in Arkansas on a large scale to move our product through. So we're seeing a lot of local people interested in locally grown foods. And
so you're talking about the meeting where you testified, it was about slaughter facilities?
It was about state inspection.
State inspection. Okay,
yes.
That's what it was about.
Yeah, it was about state meat inspection, and because that's what we're hearing from our producers. They want to move their product directly to the consumer and cut out the middleman, as it were. Yeah. And we understand some producers can do that, some can't. But right now, Arkansas does not have a state meat inspection program, and though we did back in the 80s. So what we're trying to figure out is how we can go about working around our regulations and things that we have here in Arkansas to get a state inspection program back up and running to where our producers can move their product directly from the farm to somebody that wants the good Arkansas raised beef. And
it is a good, safe product. It's well packaged, it's well taken care of. Everyone has to know that when it hits a grocery store, you know, hey, you're good here.
That's right,
absolutely. Don't have a second thought about it.
That's right. I mean, you know, consumer confidence in our product is key. I mean, absolutely vital to our industry. And so we want to make sure as we work these regulations that we see, you know, proper labeling, proper food safety issues, and but we just feel like we can do that a little better with a state meat inspection program.
Cody, what is the state meat inspection program, and really what would it look like?
So, well, you know,
I know we're really early talking about this.
Yes, absolutely, and that's a good point. You know, we're you know, a year down the road at least, at the very least, you know, from seeing some kind of state meat inspection program. But what we envision is, you know, Arkansas has a lot of what we call custom processing facilities. And these are processing facilities that, for the majority of the year, make a lot of their money in a certain time period in the fall when the deer harvest is on.
Okay, like the guys that harvest the deer, and I mean, you know, stuff like that.
Right, exactly. And so what we would like to see is some the state meat inspection come in. Of course, when we talk about state meat inspection, there's still federal regulations that they have to be equal to, at least equal to is the way the language reads. But we would like to see those custom guys be able to, maybe with some help, whether that be tax credits or maybe a grant program, get their facilities up to these inspected levels where they can do the work. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Cody Burkham, Arkansas Cattlemen Association.
Morgan Linton with Heritage Agriculture's Deal of the Week. This week is the Orange Line package deal from Kubota. L2501 Kubota loader, land pride cutter and box blade with an Orange Line trailer. $19,999 cash price, or as low as $259 a month. 0 down, 0% APR financing for 84 months. Payments not due for 90 days. We're customer focused, we're customer driven. We'll see you at Heritage Agriculture.
No matter how you buy ag equipment, Ag Direct can finance it. We're powered by Farm Credit, people who know agriculture. So along with options to purchase, lease, or refinance, Ag Direct offers attractive rates, helpful service, and ag-friendly terms. When you compare the price of iron, be sure to compare your cost of money. Ask for Ag Direct, built for agriculture, powered by Farm Credit.
There's no better time than now to get a great deal on the Kubota Mx tractor. Mow, haul, dig, lift. With the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years, you own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota Mx 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
During these busy and challenging times, Krone wants you to know we've got your back. So we're offering you 90 days of deferred payments on select models of Krone mowers, tedders, rakes, and round balers. That's right, make no payments for 90 days. And you can choose from 0% financing options to get the new Krone equipment you need. Check out these low monthly payment examples on select models of new Krone equipment.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota Mx Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity.
Since 1921, we've been supporting rice farmers across America. These are the farmers who own our co-op, who prosper together, striving to do more for their communities, going deeper, working smarter, growing stronger. That's how we make good even better. That good comes from the time and toil they're passing down of a way of life that supports not only their families, but families all over the world, so the world can be served with great food. Riceland. United, we grow.
Welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm talking with Cody Burkham, Arkansas Cattlemen Association Executive Vice President. Cody, we were talking about a state meat inspection program. You testified at the Capitol last week. Right. We were just kind of talking about what that might look like. Let me ask you this. Who would have oversight that you think, who would have oversight on a state meat inspection program?
Well, in our plans, the Arkansas Department of Ag, or the Arkansas Ag Department, would have main oversight over a state meat inspection. That's the way it is in the majority of states.
Secretary Ward.
Yes, Secretary West Ward.
Yes.
And his group. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now there would certainly be the Arkansas Department of Health would have a piece in that as well. You know, advisory role and make sure for food safety, like I say, which is very important. And then. You know, obviously you have some environmental regulations that have to go along with these processing facilities, or that currently go along with them. So ADEQ would probably have a slight advisory role in that as well. But sure. the main coming from the Arkansas Department of Ag.
Why do you think we need a state meat inspection program? Or maybe not you personally, but why are they considering bringing back a state meat inspection program?
Well, I mean, you know, like I said earlier, it's for the producers to be able to move their product to finished calf instead of, you know, sending them to the market.
Sending them to Oklahoma City.
Send them to Oklahoma City or you know, directly to one of the larger packing houses. They can cut out that portion.
Sure.
Get their meat processed and sell it a steak or a pound of hamburger at a time.
Yeah.
And we obviously just got through talking about it. We see that's where there is money to, you know, to be made. So we just see this as opening up access to these producers that want to meet a local or regional demand for Arkansas beef, or any beef.
Yeah, because of the prices have skyrocketed in the grocery stores. I can't tell you how many people have hit me up.
Yep.
You know, but I don't have a place to. I've got them. I've got the steers. They're backgrounded. They're ready to go, but I don't have a place to take them.
Well, that's absolutely right. You know, I had a gentleman call me that said that for one of the USDA inspected facilities that we do have in Arkansas, we only have 3. For one of them that could take his beef, it was going to be like March 30th of 2021.
Oh my goodness! Well,
so,
that's
I mean, that's way too.
We got to eat between now and then. We can't.
I hope so.
I got to. Look at me. I mean, you know. So, hey, given the recent disruptions in the supply chain because of COVID-19, will state meat inspections alleviate the problem in the future? Do you think they would?
I think they'll help. Now, we're never going to be insulated just simply because of the way that that agriculture and food is produced and processed in the United States. I mean, what makes us so good is we have a very effective and efficient system. But we also see now that that system is subject to bottlenecks and issues of its own. Yes. So these state meat inspections would certainly help us in these times, but it's not a silver bullet, and we realize that. It's just simply another marketing tool for the producers that are interested in it.
What's the difference between a state and a federal meat inspection, or is there any difference at all?
There is a difference, not a huge one, to be honest with you, Mike. The thing about it is we see state meat inspection as something that can be a little more flexible. You know, it's a whole lot easier, and when I say flexible, it's a whole lot easier for me to pick up the phone and call Secretary Wes Ward directly than Secretary Sonny Perdue. And that's kind of the way we see it. Sure. You know, if one of these processors has an issue with inspection or whatever, they can get help where they need it. They can get it fixed and back to processing beef. Whereas if they're USDA inspected, there's no telling what kind of red tape they'll have to go through to get back to where they need to be.
I'm going to have Secretary Ward on the show. He's just so busy fighting COVID-19. We're both Northeast Arkansas boys.
You bet.
He grew up in Lake City. I grew up in Truman.
All right. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to have Secretary Ward on here. There's just so much going on right now, of course. What are the current regulations regarding meat inspection? Are there any at all right now in the state of Arkansas?
So the important thing to remember about the meat inspection here in the state is it's all under the purview of USDA right now, since we don't have a state meat inspection. There's 3 different types of plants that you can have currently. You can have a custom meat plant, which is what we talked about with the deer, you know, deer harvest, and they can still harvest cattle and pork and lamb and things like that. But if you took it, you have to pick it up, right?
Just think about all the hogs that have just been killed and buried.
Right. Yeah.
That if we had that option, some of that stuff could have took place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
and
it's such a waste.
So the custom, you have the customs, you have right now in Arkansas, you either have customs or you have USDA inspected. And like I say, there's 3 in the whole state that are USDA inspected. We just need more. As far as you know, what the difference between state and federal is, there's some things that. A good example, under USDA rules for these processing plants, you have to have a paved parking lot for your employees. Well, that's for 2 things. I mean, that is for employee convenience, but it's also to keep, you know, some things cleaner around your building. Sure. With state inspection, you might could do away with a little bit of that.
Cody, I wish we could have got to everything today because we have so much, but you know, ranchers like myself, producers, they can reach out to the FSA office. They can reach out to your office,
Absolutely.
Arkansas Cattlemen Association. I'd like to thank you and all the Arkansas Cattlemen Association for everything you do to promote the ranchers in Arkansas. We'll see you next week right here on Arkansas Farm Talk.
Thank you for watching Arkansas Farm Talk, brought to you by Heritage Agriculture and these fine sponsors.